The lunchtime world has definitely transformed and changed. We're going to talk about what it looks like at Novak. Maybe different to what you think. Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Good
Good morning.
morning.
I beat you. Good morning. How are
How are you,
you?
Cleo?
Yeah, good. I'm very good, thank you. How about yourself?
Yeah, tops. Tops. We'll just this is your topic this morning. You wanted to wrap and talk about there's a bit of it's quite funny how different people offer up or do lunch differently in different industries. In our office, it's changed.
It certainly has. And I think what's come about, I mean, I'm one of those people in the office that always thinks about lunch at around 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm always hungry. I've skipped breakfast. And then it's like almost an event. What am I going to have for lunch? You know, I very rarely pack my lunch. Um, and my assistant just you came back from Italy, and I look at his lunch, and his mum makes him these amazing lunches, pasta from scratch, and it's not just one course, it's like two courses. And I just look over and I think, yeah, like how different everyone's concept of lunch, and how diverse our lunches are at Novak, because we've got so many different nationalities in the office. It's great. It's a
And
movement. I love it.
it doesn't change from kindy.
No,
You're
that's
like
it. Comparing your lunchbox.
you're still looking over like, oh yeah, and so you want some? You want some? It's like, oh yeah, I'll try that. It's really really funny, and Uber Eats has changed our habits in the work world, where people are getting stuff delivered. Um, there's a lot more pre-packed. Like there's some unbelievable. Like you used to slice up. One of the ladies in the office at the moment has a tray with 8 cubes, and she puts in a different thing in every cube, and I'm like, oh, nice variety, nice.
A bento, like a bento box. I love it.
Yeah, and then you got Tina in our office, Vietnamese. So her parents, 30, 40 years, ran a phenomenal Vietnamese restaurant, and she was taught the habits of incredible fresh food. Whenever Tina eats, I'm like, wow, how
Except
good's
the fish
this?
sauce. Except the fish sauce. And this is like office etiquette. There's certain lunches you can and can't bring as well. Like, if you've got that big curried egg sandwich, I mean, curried egg, you don't smell it as much, but there's certain foods. And Tina always goes, Cleo, like the day that she's brought something with fish, I'm so sorry. She'll say, got fish. I go, that's okay. I'm going to go out and get something else because I can't smell it.
Well,
Yeah.
people probably don't know, from our old office to our new office, I stole the microwave out of the kitchen. And I threw the microwave into the main lobby of the office. So I would rather stink out the main lobby of the office where the cafe is downstairs. I would rather stink that area out than the closed office area where the kitchen is. It was a success.
Yeah, we still have the microwave downstairs, and we're always like, we've got a kitchen upstairs, and we're like, why can't we have the microwave upstairs? It still wafts up though, Mark. It's still, the smells still come upstairs.
I can tell you, in the last office, when someone busted out a microwave fish
Oh
reheat
God, no.
in an office, and I'm sure it happens in offices all around Australia, and
For
it's
sure.
like, are you serious? And not only that, it wasn't an accident, because it's the second, third, 10th, 50th time they've done it. It's like, this stinks. How can you do this to all of us in the office? There's 50 people go,
It's like nutrition comes first. It's like my diet, my health regime.
yeah.
I remember one of the guys in commercial, he'd get those muscle meals, and heat them up at like 9 o'clock in the mornings. Probably he's woken up at like 4 or 5 and gone to the gym. And I remember one of the ladies going, oh, now I'm hungry. Like I wasn't going to have lunch till 12 and now because that was heated up around 9 or 10. It's changed, you know, people start to think about lunch. And it can be a distraction as well. I can see that, you know, as a boss, you know, the lunchtime distraction as well. And there's many people that eat at their desks. They don't even take time for a lunch break, you know, the a la desk, you know, restaurant. And there's stuff in the keyboard. They're eating a sandwich while they're typing an email.
I never really see Branca having lunch.
No, she's not a big lunch person. Since Tiffany started, like she'll take some breaks to go for lunch with, you know, with her daughter, which is beautiful. But since then, no, it's always either been a snack of fruit or chocolate or just, you know, a bit of a graze at the desk. She doesn't usually sit down, you know, with the crew. She hasn't got time. No, there's no time for it, you know.
So there's also the health kick, people changing their diets, and it's like you don't normally eat that. So we've had. Do you remember when guys used to bring a kilo of mince in and put it in the microwave?
Disgusting, honestly.
And it was like no sauce. It was just like mince. It's like, what are you doing? I'm. What do they call it?
Prepping. The meal prep people.
Protein or packing protein or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. They're bulking up. They're trying to bulk up.
I don't know. And they're eating mince, just straight, no sauce, just nothing as it is. It's like, oh.
And you can tell with the mums in the office as well, because there's always leftover meals in the fridge from the dinner the night before. So, you know, if you're a young guy like one of the guys in the office and you've forgotten your lunch, there's always some mum that's got a bit of a roast chicken and salad from the night before. And, you know, the dinners that are wrapped, you know, from the parents, you know, that have small children and they've got leftovers in the fridge. And they're not going to go and buy a $30 Uber Eats, you know, Mad Mex delivery. They always bring stuff from home, you know, and that's another funny office lunch tray that I pay attention to all the time.
Yeah, and it's expensive. Like if you're Uber Eating 5-6 days a week, or particularly going out, we haven't even spoken about that. But if you're Uber Eating, that's a shit ton of money. That's a shit ton of money. And I just see a lot of people were smashing those foods. What was I going to say about one of the habits that I laugh at? Oh, the snack pack. Do you remember? There was a stage. So for anyone who doesn't know, if you go to a kebab shop, you'll get a thing called a snack pack. So the kebab shop shears off that kebab meat on. So first they put, and I'm going to be corrected on this, chips. It's massive packet of chips, massive. Then they put down the meat. Then they do cheese over the top, melted cheese. Then they do gravy. Is that all that's in a snack pack?
Yeah, that's a heart attack. There's not one vegetable in there. It's just meat, chips, and gravy, and just heart clogging.
Big
goodness.
Like big. There'd be 400 grams of meat, just almost half a kilo of meat sitting in there, shaved kebab meat, which I don't think's good meat. And hot chips with, you know, or fried
gravy. Oh,
awful.
Gross. Yeah. Milosh and Jack who used to work in our office, his wife would make all these beautiful Chinese meals, and he'd leave them in the fridge and get a snack pack twice a week with Milosh, and he'd pretend, well, I'm sure he never took the container home. He probably either threw it out or stored it in the office because, you know, he had to eat from home, and then they would sneakily eat this snack pack, and I'd be like, "Oh my god!"
It's like school. You take back the empty pack, and partner goes, "How was it?" You go, "Oh, it was great. It was great." But I find food doesn't last in our office. That's the amazing vortex suction black hole. Where did it go? Food. I can bring in 3 kilos of schnitzel. I can bring in 5 kilos of cooked sausages from a barbie. When we do that on the weekend, we do the Bunnings
Cakes,
barbecue,
leftover cakes from
leftover
birthdays,
cakes,
anything.
and all you do is it's like a lamb for slaughter that goes out. It goes out onto the lunch table and then disappears.
It's disappeared.
It's
And
gone.
you know, when your mum comes in and she brings food or bits of stuff from home, everyone's like, yes, Millie's here, and everyone's like waiting for what's going to be unrevealed in
It's
the
gone.
underneath the foil or whatever.
Now Lisa Novak and my daughter have now got a pact. They found the sangers at Foodery out service stations are awesome.
Oh, the pre-packed sandwiches. How good. I'll have to try. I've never tried.
They talk about flavors and their experience when they weren't, often lately, because they're bailing in and getting them. Now, do real estate agents go out and have fat, boozy lunches much?
No, not at all. I can't remember the last time I sat down and had a lunch. Sometimes maybe once or twice a year, we book a team meeting breakfast down at the beach or lunch, but having an hour or two and just going out with the crew and sitting down with a wine and lunch, it never happens. I don't know. The conception is maybe that it does, and that, sales agents, sell a $2-3 million property and then celebrate over a big long lunch. But I don't see it. I don't see any agents actually in our industry in DY sitting around at DY Beach having long lunches. No one's got the time.
It's so boring. I've been watching, on your recommendation and Billy Drury's recommendation, Mad Men.
How good.
It's none of
That's another world, isn't it? Actually, I
It's none of
started
that.
watching Scrubs again, and I love Scrubs. It was that 90s office funny hospital sitcom, and all their conversations and that are around the cafeteria. Like, that's an American thing. We don't have a cafeteria, but their lunch goes, the tray, and they sit down with their colleagues and they eat before they go back to work. And that concept seems, quite cool. The hospitals must have their own culture with lunch and what they eat, to fuel them for their job.
And then there's these amazing companies that do really cool things for lunch. Like my daughter works for VALE Morgan, and Chop Top, ice creams, chocolates, chips, whatever you want. Just get as much as you want whenever you want. And I'm like, how good is that? So Google, you hear about that fun stuff that they get up to. So there's some big budget companies. Did you were saying before we go, you were saying previously you used to get a lunch trolley going around.
Yeah, I worked for FAI Home Security in North Sydney back in the day, and at 12 o'clock there'd be a lady, and she came with the trolley with all the sandwiches and rolls and a choice of drink for everyone every day. That was, you could pick a sandwich, and it was across from the train station, and underneath was a cafe, and it was a Greek-run cafe, which I thought was awesome because I used to go in there in the morning, and they would make the sandwiches. So I used to always say, put a special sandwich in there for me, for 12 o'clock. But it was part of your package. You got lunch. It was part of the package, lunch every day.
Genius.
So, we had wog rolls though. Remember, you used to do the wog rolls once a week?
Oh, we used to do the wog rolls. Yes. So, well, that's the lunch revolution at work that happens in workplaces. It's definitely changing with Uber Eats and stuff. But thanks for sharing.
I'm hungry now. I'm going for some breakfast before I head to work. See you.
See you, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.
See you later. Thanks. Bye. Ooh.